This next story that I want to tell is the only time that I've ever seen a manifestation or partial manifestation of a demon. So I went to this retreat camp thing with some of my friends, and we were doing a meditation. And we get to a part in the meditation where we're simply supposed to remain quiet for about 15 minutes and just kind of be there with our thoughts. And the guy who's standing right behind me starts making noises. It starts with just kind of some heavy breathing, and I think, okay, no big deal. He's just having a little bit of a rough time. Nothing to worry about. But then it progresses to a sort of panting and then howling and then laughter. Some very strange sounds were coming from right behind me. So I turn around, and this man who I'd spoken to earlier, who seemed like a very normal, kind man, was convulsing. He was standing upright. He was standing, but his shoulders were slouched, and he would periodically make a howling laugh sound that was really quite strange. And I couldn't tell if he was laughing or crying or what. It was really weird. And he was slouched over like this, and every once in a while he would just shake and convulse, almost like a spasm. So this is going on right behind me. Luckily, there was a man there who used to be a Franciscan brother. He just turned out married now. And he went and started to pray over this man, putting his hand on his shoulder and just saying, I'm assuming some Hail Mary, some St. Michael prayers. I don't know what he was saying, but he was praying for this guy. So I took a break from what I was doing and went behind my Franciscan friend, and I started to pray with him, and I joined my prayers to his. So we prayed like that for about 5 to 10 minutes, and then eventually the leader of the camp came over and grabbed this full-grown man on the back of the neck, looked him dead in the eyes, looked at him, and basically told him he was okay and it was going to be okay. And this man, who was going through what seemed like some sort of a partial manifestation, I don't know exactly what it was weird, but this man who was having this issue was looking at him and saying, I can't. And then the leader of the camp, holding the back of his head, looking him dead in the eyes, says, yes, you can. Yes, you can. Yes, you can. So we kept talking to him. We kept praying over him. Then eventually it concludes where he lays him down on this concrete floor that we were on, and he's just laying there on his back, and he looked almost dead. Now, this is where things really start to get a little weird. This man was apparently a yogi, which I guess just means professional yoga instructor. I am not familiar with the terms. But for anyone who knows anything about yoga, you know it's a bad deal, and that yoga is definitely tied to demon worship. I'm not anti-stretching, but just maybe do something other than yoga, because it's bad news. And even if I was on the fence about yoga before this incident, this really sealed the deal for me. My friend, who was a Franciscan, went up to him and said, hey, I think this may be caused by the yoga that you're doing. And I think he actually was willing to consent to the idea that it was the yoga that he was practicing in that was getting him into this trouble, but he wasn't ready to change anything.